What are the council's wishes? Motion to approve.
I'll approve it.
Have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Sadler, all in favor, aye. Opposed, no. We're going to close comments. Anybody come forward for 3 minutes, speak on anything they like. Anybody like to come forward? I'm going to give you name and address.
My name is Joe Salata, and I live at 480 410 Street here in Bellhaven. I am presenting you folks with an article that I have written. It's called Rec Room for a Small Town, Bellhaven. And after you read it, maybe at the next session, if you got any questions or concerns or comments, be willing to address them at that time. Thank you.
Sir, how long have you lived in town?
Better than a year.
How do you?
And I've been a taxpayer in Beaufort County for about 20-some years.
Well, we're always happy to have people move in town and try to make the town better by ridiculing the town government. We appreciate it.
Making every effort, sir. Making every effort.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have, well, does anyone else like to come up for public comments? 3 minutes, anything you'd like to talk about? If not, we'll move on. We're moving on now to update on Water Street water line replacement.
Yeah, I've got a proposition for you guys tonight. Water line, particularly on Water Street, from about the backside of Farm Boys all the way down to the River Forest Manor, is one of probably the original lines in town. It's 4-inch in diameter. It's cast iron, and it's very fragile. It's in bad shape. We have leaks regularly. The only fix for those leaks is to put temporary bands around the hose. Hose come in it if it gets jarred by a truck. Hose come in it sometimes with no provocation at all. This has been one of the number one or one of the most important improvements to the town water system in recent history, and this has been a project that has been up on the town's to-do list for several years. And one of the problems is that there has really not been a good funding source to pay for it. The estimated cost of this water line several years ago was around $400,000. And what that $400,000 was going to buy would be an upgrade to a 6-inch line, and that upgrade to the 6-inch line would allow the water service to provide fire hydrants that would work for firefighting capability. We don't have that presently. Of course, we're sitting right next to the creek, but we don't have firefighting capability on this line. I think any of you that have been in my office in the last several months has seen a piece of this 4-inch line sitting up next to the wall by my desk. I'd be glad for anybody who's interested that hadn't seen it to come by and take a look at it. North Carolina last year passed the NC Connect bond. And there is a chance, if we apply, of getting a 75% grant to do this water line replacement in conjunction with a 25% loan at a very low interest rate. We would have to have an engineering company prepare the application and follow up for us on this. And we have used several companies, but of late we have talked to Stroud Engineering out of Greenville. And Mr. Stroud is offering us a chance for his company to get our business at the tune of $5,000 to prepare and see the project through and get the money for us. And he's confident enough. I kind of balked in talking to him and paying him $5,000 to prepare the proposal. But what he has agreed to do is accept $2,500 if he fails to get the grant. If he gets the grant, he's going to expect to get the whole $5,000.
What's the total cost of this project?
The last estimate was right at $400,000, and that was the one that was sitting on the shelf when I came. So it's 3 or 4 years old. I don't think inflation has changed it a lot. This has really been a good rebound on the tail end of a bad economy for buying work. And with the NC Connect bond, it's certainly a chance for us to minimize the financial impact on the town. 3/4 of it is better than trying to foot it all ourselves.
And the Stroud and Company, they would be the people who applied for the
Stroud
grant.
Engineering would be the person applying for it on our behalf.
And is there an extra charge for them doing that, or is this in the?
The application is what the $5,000 is all about. Now, if we get the contract, there would be an expectation for us to use them to administer the contract and get it done for us. And they would get paid regularly right along with the
There's
contract.
no guarantee of that.
Sir?
There's no guarantee of that, though. That's
No.
what I get with the business.
No.
That's usually how it goes. All right, what do you need?
I need to know your wishes as a group. If you want me to proceed with this, I think a vote would be in order.
Well, I can tell everyone here that this has been a problem we've been dealing with for an awful long time. And the main thing is that the income on that street kept us from getting block grant money there and makes it difficult to get funding for that water line. So if this can possibly pay 75%, that's probably going to be about the best thing we can get our hands on. The other 25%, maybe there's some other entity out there that might consider funding that. We might, talk to some other grant agencies that are in water quality and see if they might help us with the 25%. But so can we get a motion from the council to encourage or to direct the town manager to secure Stroud Associates?
Before you go there, you're saying if they don't get the grant, we're going to pay, we still yet got to pay
25.
25.
Yeah.
For his efforts.
I seriously talked to Mr. Stroud, the owner of the company, and told him I did not feel comfortable obligating the $5,000, not knowing whether he could get the grant or not. So it's kind of like, do we move on it or not? And he graciously agreed to accept $2,500 if he does not give us this grant.
Mr. Stroud's out of agreement with him.
Yes, sir.
We've dealt with him before in bidding the town's engineering.
He has worked with the town in the past. He has a pretty good niche as an engineer. He works for Englehart with their sewer system, has a very good grasp. He's got a son-in-law that's in the business with him that worked with water quality with the state. They've got very good credentials. They're a small firm. I think they would be attentive to us, and I think we need to establish a relationship with some outfit that has the credentials to take us forward for us.
So we have a motion to appropriate $5,000 for grant application on the Water Street water line.
Y'all also move.
Have a second. Second, Councilman Craig, all in favor, aye, raise your hand. Opposed, nay. All right.
I'll get it going.
All right. Next up, we have a quick little item here about a building situation. And the situation is this. We have a citizen that was being billed for 3 trash containers, but they only had 1 container. And we found out that they only had 1 container, and we've been billing them for 3. So the question for the council is, do we refund that citizen the balance for the 10 months? About 10 months. Do we refund that balance or credit to their account, or do we not do anything for them? What's the council's wishes or questions do you have?
Woody, can you give us some history on it? Because I have no idea about it. My first time hearing about it was.
Yeah, I'll provide what I can. I was approached by Mr. Bonner in November with his trash bill. And with part of his trash, because the trash bill is a small part of his utility bill. Our water, sewer, electricity, and garbage all come in the same package. It came relatively short request and said that the town had been overcharging him for trash service for a long time. And he said to me that the trash was not being billed correctly from the beginning of his store on Hamilton Street. Now, I checked on what he was being billed, and he was being billed for 3 carts. And 3 carts commercially are $13 a piece, so he was being billed $39. He said that he had not used that service because he had taken garbage to the dump on his pickup truck. And he didn't think it was right to be billed for the 3 carts, he just wanted 1. When he came in, I had it changed, and from that time forward, he's only been billed for 1 cart. But we don't have a way to be responsible for guessing what people want unless they tell us. And I don't have a way to go back and tell what he has or has not had, because we don't go out and check yard by yard and building by building on a regular basis. I did not agree with crediting his account, and I still don't. I don't think it's the right thing for the town to do.
When he was billed for 10 months and came to you and said, I only need 1, did the town then at that time begin charging him for just 1?
Yes, ma'am. Now, what I understood at the time is this was an account that was not in Mr. Bonner's name for a long time. It was actually in Martin Community Action's name. And we still have a balance that has not been paid on this account. Considerably more than the $260 we're talking about tonight.
Is that what it is, 260?
If we were considering a refund, it would be $260 because it would be 10 months for 2 carts at $26 a month.
Well, I've had an opportunity to speak to other councilmen. My position is that the town overbilled Bond for $260. So I'm not here to vote to give him, if he's in arrears in another account, because I think that's our mistake that we overbilled him. And I think that our credit, that's my view. And I voiced that to the other council people that have availability to talk to. And I've spoken to you about it.
Well, first off, the bill before Mr. Bonner took over the bill is irrelevant right here. Doesn't mean anything. That's somebody else's obligation, and we have agreed that it's somebody else's obligation. So that account has nothing to do with this. The fact is we had a citizen that we were charging 3 times as much as what was needed or wanted. And I think any citizen in town, if they found out they were being overcharged for a service, would expect to be reimbursed. And what I would think would be the fair thing to do is to reimburse that money to that account, whatever the $260 odd, whatever it is. That would be my position. We used to have a town government that would take advantage of people. We used to have a town government, for example, one time with my father, went in my father's bank account, hit him for $2,000 for another person's bill. Do you think the town of Belhaven ever reimbursed my father? Never. So we had a town manager, we had a town government at one time that did things like that. And we have not done that since I've been mayor. And I'm not going to sit around and watch people be abused or misused. There's no doubt that this man was overcharged for trash, and there's no doubt he should be refunded. Now, what his council does is their own business. But whatever the account that is in question, my position is the overcharge should be credited back to that account, and we should move on. And I think that should be simple, and that should be something that happens to every citizen in town if you're overcharged for services.
Well, if I may, to take it a step further, the way it was laid out to me is that we paid Smithton for the 3 things.
Well, we're under contract with David's Trash Service.
So they were getting paid for picking up 3 and they were only picking up 1?
No, that's not what I understand.
Oh, it was brought to me that we paid you.
We do pay. We pay every month. We are in the middle.
Well, let's get it down to this account. If we were charging for 3, it was brought to me that we were paying for 3.
Well,
And there was only 1, is that correct? So if that's correct, then we were theoretically paying Smithton more than what we should have paid them. So if we credit this man, we should go after the overage that we possibly paid Smithton.
this would be just like buying cable TV and going back to the cable company and saying, I've had cable TV with you for all these years and I've never watched it, I want my money back.
When it came to about the 1 trash can, do you have 3 carts at a time, or do you have 1?
That's a good question.
As soon as he came to me about just wanting 1 cart, we got his bill down to 1 cart. I don't know what he had.
Yes, you do. Aaron Kennedy went by there and looked, and went back to your office and told you that he had 1 can. So you do know he had 1 can. He didn't have 3 cans.
I'll ask the question. When I remember when they first went on contract with Smith, they came to my house and asked me how many cans that I wanted. I had a large family. I told them I wanted 2 cans. So do you still follow that procedure or not?
From time to time.
All right. So once he, in other words, if he had down at 3. I mean, he should know that. He should have said, well, I don't want to use 1. Did he come in and proclaim that 1 can, he didn't need 3? Just
Once
1
he told me there was a mistake, I fixed it. Now what I'm balking on going back on is going back in history.
But if you fixed it, then why you got them saying, where's the overage coming in?
Because he overpaid for 3 cans instead of 1 for 10 months. Actually, they had paid longer than that, but the bills in someone else's names before then.
And
He only had 1 can the whole time. We were overcharged him for 3 cans.
Well, we made the error, all we have to do is just, no money back, but you just apply it to his account. So he already in the arrears on some accounts.
So it sounds like
I saw that he was on arrears in some parts, just a price to the arrears. And as far as giving him money back, no. You put it on his bill.
Well, that's what I will make the motion that we credit
Right.
for that amount and that amount only. And it would go towards the store account.
Or the account that is on.
The account that it's on.
Right.
That's
I
the
agree with
motion
that.
that I would make. Not that we issue a check, but we've got somebody, I think, that we can apply this to a bill that is outstanding right now. But only that, and no check be issued, no credit.
Do we have a second?
Well, I second.
Council Wilson, all in favor, aye, raise your hand.
All right.
Opposed, nay.
No.
Okay. All right, next up, town manager's report.
Community Watch tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, White Plains Church, Police Department. The topic for the evening will be identity fraud. Want to give you a little bit of an update on the town website. Gloria has mailed out letters to 24 businesses as of last last weekend. We're hoping to contact the businesses and start integrating their information in the website. I will be in Chapel Hill for the next 3 days at the Community Development Academy that was sponsored pretty much by the school of government to try to sharpen my skills and how to help us look at housing initiatives and being able to participate and ask for grants a little better than we do now. We have a pre-bid conference Monday the 20th, which is next Monday, regarding the work to be done at the Senior Center at 2 p.m. Main floor on site at the Old Town Hall. Our celebrations committee has been meeting and working to get everything in order for our 4th of July celebration. Want to keep this out in front of everybody on the front burner. We have a little bit of an odd thing this year with the 4th. It's a Tuesday. It gives us an opportunity to make this into a 4-day event. It is also the town's 75th consecutive 4th of July celebration. And we're looking for ways to make this a very special event for the whole town. One of the things that is being considered, our normal parade will be on the 4th, our fireworks will be on the 4th, our dignitary breakfast will be on the 4th. There will be a street dance that we are in the process of sending the contract back for the main event band for the Monday before the 4th, the 3rd. Hopefully having a gospel sing with a lot of participation that Sunday evening. And one of the things that the committee is working on that we're going to need some help from the community with is having another dance entertainment event that Saturday night. What we have honed in on is a very popular, if you listen to the radio and you listen to beach music, you've probably heard John Moore's Friday Night Sock Hop on Oldies 107.9. We've been in contact, Councilman Yvonne has been in contact with John Moore, and he has displayed a lot of interest in advertising our 4th of July for us this year, as well as coming to Bellevue, his show, and a mixture of himself as a DJ and a band for 4 hours that Saturday night on the same venue that we would use for the street dance. So we've had already getting interest from vendors, getting the word out, if you will, that this is going to be a big event for the town, that we're going to try to make it all weekend long, and we're going to need some help in the line of some contributions to raise the money to pay for all these folks that are coming to help us celebrate. So there'll be more forthcoming with that, but I did want everybody to be aware of that, and this is exciting. So we've got a lot coming up, a lot going on.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, good.
Any council comments, concerns?
Yes, I have one thing. The flag is in desperate need of replacement here at the Civic Center. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for pointing that out to me.
Okay. And we have replaced 2 of the street lamps since the last meeting right here at the Civic Center, so we can see the flag.
Yeah, I noticed that tonight.
It was kind of dark when we got out there last meeting.
That makes a difference.
Any other comments? If not, I'll adjourn the meeting adjourned.